Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing superbly great. So we are going to continue with our discussion on overhead costing, and before we continue, I would like to say a few things. One is, if you like the video, if you are liking the content, do like the video, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon, right? So that you get all the notifications. And one very important thing, guys, do share these videos with maximum people, with maximum of your friends in your circle, right? Who can take the benefit from these videos. These are going to be absolutely free of cost on YouTube. The whole course of cost accounting. What else do you need, right? So do share it with your friends in your circle, and ask your friends to share with their friends, with further friends which are not common with you people. Okay. So this is one thing that I expect from you people in return of these videos, right? I'm providing this content free of cost, so this much I can expect from you, that you make this channel a name that everybody remembers, that yes, someone is providing this content free of cost on YouTube, the whole course of cost accounting, right? Starting which you can score some really, really good marks. And people have already scored a lot of marks, right? Our Hindi batch is already there on YouTube, the complete Hindi batch, and people have scored 80 plus in costing and FM. In costing also, in financial management, economics of finance also, they have scored 80 plus marks, starting from just the YouTube videos without a single investment, single penny investment, right? And all those who have invested some amount in our books, in the cost accounting handbooks, which are specially designed for you people, or in our study material quotient discussion course, which is available on the app, right? They have done exceptionally well, right? They have scored their highest marks in costing and FM, and we have got a few cases where the students couldn't clear the group, but they scored the exemption. Why? Because they started from the YouTube lectures, they subscribed to the books and the cost accounting study material quotient discussion course. That is one of the most important course. Now some people might be saying that, sir, you are not having the SM course in English, how can we subscribe it? We are coming up with the SM course in English very soon, right? So that is why I'm saying you must subscribe to the channel, and you must download our Android mobile app. Why, sir? Because you will get the notifications on the app also, and you will get the notification on the YouTube also, and you can join the Telegram channel also, right? Okay, now let's start with our studies now. So in the last lecture, we were discussing about the machine hour rate. I told you that this is one of the most important topics of overhead costing, machine hour rate. How to calculate the machine hour rate we have discussed about, right? And we discussed that we need to understand the two elements, that is the effective machine hours, one thing, right? The other thing was total overheads. And in the last lecture, we have discussed in detail how to calculate the effective machine hours, right? This is how we discussed. We discussed about the normal idle time. Then we discussed about the steps in the calculation of machine hour rate. And we discussed about the overheads, that we have to distribute the overheads between fixed charges and variable charges. And in the examination, if you are not clear about the distribution between the fixed charges and variable charges, you can leave this distribution and take all the expenses as such, right? Even then you will get marks, nothing to worry about it, right? And we discussed about the depreciation, role of depreciation. Based on time, it is fixed. Based on machine hours, it is to be taken as variable, right? And how to calculate the machine hour. And I told you that we are going to do some practical sums on the machine hour rate. So in this lecture, we are going to do two practical sums, and two practical sums we'll do it in the next lecture, and then we will sum it up, right? Then our machine hour rate topic will be complete, right, sir? So let's see the practical sums. So first question on the machine hour rate is question number 9, and you can get this file from where? From our Android mobile app, sir. There you will find the cost accounting YouTube questions. A nominal charge is being taken for providing this question list, right? You can view it in the app itself, right, sir? Let's read question number 9. A machine costing rupees 10 lakhs was purchased on 1st of April. The expected life of the machine is 10 years. At the end of this period, its scrap value is likely to be 10,000 rupees. Clear? So this means this information is given for what? This information is given for the purpose of depreciation. This information is given for the purpose of depreciation. Any doubts? No, sir. The total cost of all machines. Now he's using the word all machines. That means besides this machine, there are other machines in the factory also, right? He says the total cost of all machines, including the new one, was 90 lakhs. Right? All machines including the new one. The cost of new one is 10 lakh and the cost of other machine is 80 lakhs. So the total cost is 90 lakhs. Is that clear? Right, sir. The other information is given as follows. The working hours of machine for the year were 4200, including 200 non-productive hours. He says the total machine hours are 4200, but out of this 4200 hours there are 200 non-productive hours, right? So we have to calculate effective hours. Now you know how to calculate effective hours, right? Repairs and maintenance for the new machine during the year was 5000. Insurance premium was paid for all the machines rupees 9000. So you need to read the question very carefully. See why I'm saying need to read the question very carefully. Repair and maintenance cost is given for just one machine, that is the new machine, whereas the insurance premium is given for all the machines including the new one. Are you getting the point? And you need to calculate the machine rate for new machine only, whereas insurance premium is given for all the machines, not only the new machine. Clear? New machine consumes 8 units of electricity per hour. In 1 hour, it is consuming 8 units and the rate is 3.75 per hour. Right? So this is the per hour information given to us. The new machine occupies 1/10 of the area of department. The rent of department is 2400 per month. Right? So this machine is occupying how much? 1/10 of the area. Depreciation is charged on the straight line basis. Compute the machine hour rate for the new machine. You need to read the question very carefully. The question is asking to calculate the machine hour rate for the new machine only. Right? So if you are going to calculate the machine hour rate for the new machine, that means you will be taking the effective machine hours. You will be taking effective machine hours for the new machine only, and you will be taking total overheads of the new machine only. Only then you will be able to find the machine hour rate of new machine. Any doubts in this? Right? If you have to calculate the machine hour rate of the new machine only, that means you need the effective machine hours and you need the total overheads of the new machine only and not all the machines. Are you getting my point? Right? Any doubts in this thing? Shall we start? Right, sir. We'll start, sir. Question number 9. Right? So first we'll calculate calculation of effective machine hours. Right? So this is the first step as we discussed here. Sir, where it is? 1 second, guys. Here it is. Calculate the effective machine hours, then total overheads we'll calculate. Right? So the total working hours, total working hours are given as 4200 hours. Right? The working hours of the machine, that is, this is given for one machine. This is given for one machine, that is 4200 hours, out of which 200 are the non-productive hours. So what you will do? Subtract the non-productive hours. You will subtract the non-productive hours, that is 200 hours. Right? So what you will get here is 4000 hours. This is my effective This is my effective machine hours. Any doubt? Any doubt, sir? Is that clear? Right, sir. Now we'll prepare a statement. Computation of. Now I'll say computation of machine hour rate. Sir, in the last lecture, you told us that the step 2 should be total overheads. We'll calculate it in this statement only, right? Now we're moving ahead. We need to be smarter in the examination. We need to save time. So what we are going to do is we are going to calculate the total overheads and the machine hour rate simultaneously. So don't worry about it, right? We are on to the step number 2 and 3. We have just combined, nothing else. So not to worry about it, right? When I say the computation of machine hour rate, I means I'm computing the total overheads first and the machine hour rate simultaneously, right? Here I will say rupees per annum, and here I will say per hour. Why I'm writing this, you will get to know in some time. Right, sir? Now, first we are going to take what? Sir, first we are going to take fixed charges. Right, sir. What are the fixed charges? See, the first charge is the repair and maintenance for the machine was 5,000. See, I told you that repair and maintenance is a variable charge, isn't it? You must have noted down in your notebooks that repair and maintenance is a variable charge. But read the question carefully. The question specifically says that this is the fixed amount of repairs and maintenance based on the number of hours it is working, right? So it is a fixed charge when the question says that when the question is giving you a definite amount of repairs and maintenance, right? And you are not to calculate the repairs and maintenance based on the number of machine hours, right? So I will take it as a fixed charge. I will say repairs and maintenance, right? 5,000 rupees. Right, sir? After that, insurance premium was paid for all the machines 9,000. Sir, this insurance premium is a fixed charge because you know in advance the insurance premium. This is not dependent upon the machine hours, right? Right, sir. Now I'll say insurance premium. Sir, how to calculate the insurance premium? Now, he says 9,000 rupees has been paid for all the machines, including the new one. Sir, can you tell me the insurance premium is based on what? Forget about this machine hour rate. Say this is insurance premium 9,000 rupees is given to you as an overhead and it is said that you have to distribute it. On what basis you are going to distribute the insurance premium? On what basis you can distribute the insurance premium of a machine? What is going to be the reasonable base? I can say the book value of the machine will be the reasonable base to distribute this insurance premium. Am I wrong? If I say that this insurance premium is to be apportioned, listen to it very carefully. What I am doing is I am saying forget about the machine hour rate. Right, I'm saying there is an insurance premium of 9,000 rupees and this is to be apportioned between the various departments. It is the insurance premium of the machines, right? So on what reasonable basis you will distribute this insurance premium? You will distribute it on the basis of the book value of machine, isn't it? Right? So what is the value of all the machines? 90 lakhs, right? Now what you need? You needed the insurance premium for the new machine. So what is the value of this new machine? 10 lakhs. So I can say if I am paying insurance premium of 9,000 rupees, this insurance premium is for the 90 lakhs value. Isn't it? What will be the value of premium for 10 lakhs of new machine? If I put it simply, I can say if the total value of all the machine is 90 lakhs, then I'm paying a insurance premium of 9,000 rupees. So if the value of my machine is 10 lakhs, what will be the insurance premium? That is 90,000 divided by 9 lakhs multiplied by 10 lakhs. Any doubts in this thing? Right? So my value will be 1000 here. Clear, sir? Moving on. The new machine consumes 8 units of electricity per hour, the rate being 3.75. This is your variable charge because the electricity will be consumed for the number of hours the machine is running. Very good, sir. The new machine occupies 1/10 of the area of department. The rent of department is 2400 per month. Now this is a fixed charge because the rent of the area will not change, is not dependent upon the number of hours for which the machine is running. Right? So I will take this rent as a fixed charge. So I'll take this rent. Now, how to calculate this value of rent? Sir, 2400 rupees per month. So I'll multiply it by 12 to find out the value per year. Right? And this machine occupies 1/10 of the area. This value of rent is for full area. But this machine is occupying only 1/10 of area. That is why I have multiplied it with 1 by 10. So this comes to 2880. Any doubts? Guys, even if we are taking the time in solving the question, that is because it should be absolutely clear to you people. If you can spend 5-10 minutes extra right now, even if we are able to solve only one question in this lecture, I don't mind it. Right? But the question, whatever the thing we are doing is, it should be clear in your mind. Right? Some people might be complaining that, sir, you are elongating the things, you are taking so much time in solving the question. I don't mind it. Right? If you're not liking my style, you can absolutely leave the channel right now and go and study from someone who can really rush up the things. Right? That is totally up to you. This is my style of teaching, that I want everything to be crystal clear. Right? I told you that we'll be doing 2 questions, but even if we are doing the 1 question in 1 lecture, I don't mind it, but I want the things to be clear. Right? So you people don't fail in the examination. Right? You do not falter in the examinations. That's very important. Now, next part, the depreciation is to be charged on the straight line basis. How to calculate depreciation? So 10 lakh is the value. What is the salvage value? 10,000 divided by the number of years. That means I'm calculating depreciation based on time. And I told you in the last lecture, if you are going to take depreciation based on the time, then this depreciation will be a fixed charge or a variable charge. It will be a fixed charge. So that means if I take the depreciation here, I'll take depreciation here. How to calculate it? 10 lakh minus 10,000 is the salvage value divided by 10 years is the life. Right? So this is 99,000. Any other expenses? No, sir. So we have taken repairs and maintenance, we have taken insurance premium, we have taken the rent, and we have taken the depreciation. So what is left with us? We are left with this part only. That is the electricity part. It will be a variable charge. Now what I will do is I will be taking the total of this fixed charges. Right? I'll say total fixed charges. Right? That comes to 1,07,880. Right? In the next line, what I am going to write is, I will say fixed charges per hour. How to calculate it, sir? Total fixed charges 1,07,880. What are the effective machine hours? Effective machine hours you have calculated how much? 4,000 hours. So if I divide these fixed charges by the effective machine hours, I will get the effective fixed charges per hour, and this is 26.97. That is why at the top I have written per annum and per hour, right? What I have divided is I have divided the fixed charges with the effective machine hours. Now listen to it very carefully. One point here, sir, in some of the books, in some of the questions, what you will find is they are dividing this fixed charge, they are dividing these fixed charges with the total working hours. With the total working hours, in some of the books you might find that 1,07,880 divided by 4,200 hours. Why they are doing this, sir? This is also correct, don't worry, right? The answer will vary, that is for sure. Why they are doing is, they say that, say you are paying the rent, right? The rent is not dependent upon your hours. What is a fixed charge? Fixed charge itself says that I am not dependent upon the number of hours for which your machine is working. Whether your machine is doing some productive work or not, you will have to pay the rent to the landlord, isn't it? Am I wrong? So take a very simple example. You are staying in a rented accommodation, right? Many of you must be staying outside your homes in a PG or in some rented accommodation, isn't it? Is your rent dependent upon the number of hours you are spending in the coaching or number of hours you are spending in your studies? Is your rent dependent upon that? Just think about it. Will your landlord say, can you say to your landlord that I have spent this much hours in the coaching, so you must take this much of the rent? No, sir. Right? If you are paying 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 rupees, you have to pay it every month. Whether you are staying in that house for 15 days, whether you are staying in that house for 20 days, you are going to the home for the 10 days, but you will have to pay the rent for the whole month. Right? That is why in some parts, the fixed charges will be taken for the total hours and not for the effective hours. Right? That is also an absolutely correct approach. You can take any of the approaches, right? Normally we take the effective hours. Why we take the effective hours? We say that what we are doing through this, we are absorbing this fixed charges into the finished goods, right? So if you are not working for the 200 hours, that means you are not doing any of the finished goods are being produced during the 200 hours. Then how can you absorb the fixed charges for those 200 hours, right? That is one logic of taking 4,000 and not 4,200. Even if you are taking 4,200, or if you find in some of the books it is taken on the total hours, so don't worry about it. That is also correct, right? So I have cleared you beforehand that what you can face. Right. This is all about the fixed charges. Now we are going to take the variable charges, right? See guys, that is why I'm taking a lot of time, because I want each and every point to be clear to you people, right? You don't have any ifs and buts in the mind. Even if you have, after this, even if you have any ifs and buts, you can send me an email at ksjteaching@gmail.com, right? Now, what about the variable charges, sir? What are the variable charges? Are only the electricity consumption. It is given as per hour, 8 units per hour. And what is the rate? That is 3.75, right? So electricity charges, electricity expenses or overheads per hour. How much? 8 units. It is 8 units. One second, guys. 8 units. And what is the rate? This is 8 units of electricity per hour. And what is the rate? That is 3.75 per unit. 3.75 per unit. So this is the rate. This is what? This is the rate per hour. That is 30 rupees. What is the fixed charges rate per hour? 26.97. And what is the variable charges per hour? 30 rupees. So the total is 56.97. This is your machine hour rate. This is your machine hour rate for new machine. Right? This was the requirement of the question. Now, listen to it very carefully. There can be an alternative presentation to this. What can be the alternative presentation? Sir, first you write the total expenses, 1,07,880. Then you write the total variable charges. Total variable charges. This is for 1 hour. You calculate the charges for 4,000 hours. You take the total charges and then at the end you divide the total overheads by the effective machine hours. That could be one presentation. Right? Sir, how to do it in the examination? You can do it anyways. That is totally your choice. Whether you want to calculate the total overheads first, as I told you in the steps, right? Including the variable total overheads, and then in the third step, you divide it by the effective machine hours. That even then you will get the same answer, that is 56.97. Clear? Or you do it this way, calculate the fixed charges, divide the fixed charges by effective machine hours or the total machine hours, then take the variable charges per hour, right? And whatever the total you get per hour is your machine hour rate. That is the rate of running the machine, cost of running the machine for 1 hour, right? 56.97. So I hope this question is clear, and a lot of questions have been answered through this question. I purposely went slow with this question. This was the first question on the machine hour rate, and I wanted everything to be clear to you people, right? So I will not be taking another question in this lecture. One question per lecture, no issues. But whatever we have done, it should be absolutely clear to you people, right? If you're not liking my style, please leave the channel, and if you're liking the style, subscribe to the channel and like the video. That is very important. Right, sir? So we are done with question number 9, and in the next lecture we'll be taking up question number 10, 11. Let's see how many questions we are able to take it. We have 3 more questions, question number 10, 11 and 12 on machine hour rate itself. Right? So we'll see in the next lecture. We want absolute clarity, sir, so we will go slow. Doesn't matter, right? Even if we have to spend the whole lecture on one question, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.